The design calls for 2 planter boxes to be placed at the end of the sight line. There's going to be a circle here and a plinth, and on the plinth we'll put some artwork, but we want to design these 2 planter boxes here. Wherever you've got a design where there is one is a mirror, one part is a mirror image of the other, you only draw half of the design. So remember, we've got our grid set at 100 millimeters, and ortho or polar is now on. So we should be able to just use the line command, and we'll start, say, down here. We should be able to come across relatively easily. And if we zoom in, I'll repeat that. I'll start again, repeat the line at that point there. And if we come across here, 2 jumps, that should be the major grid point was at ½ meter, 5 times 100, so that should be a meter long. Now we can come out and go up to about here, come across to something like that, and then down, and exit. Can you see that precisely matches the grid? To get the internal lines, it's just a matter of offsetting, but what I'll do is just select each one of the lines. Even though I've got snap on, I can get most of those lines. To get the one that goes at an angle, I have to take snap off. I'll right click and join, and I've made those lines one entity, so when I select it, it's just a single entity. So at this point we can offset, that's modify, and offset, and this is the object we're going to offset, and right click again. The distance happens to be preset at 90, just for the moment that'll do us, and we indicate on the inside. So our planter box is drawn. Now to mirror it, it's just a matter of selecting. Sorry, we have to finish our offset, select what we've just drawn, right click and pick mirror, and we're asked to set the first point of a mirror line. If I put snap back on again, we can click there and there, and if I hold the shift key down, we should have mirrored. I'll undo, select again, right click, mirror, specify the first end and the last end. Now, rather than hold the shift key down, I'll right click and say I want it done with copy, and there's our mirror line. So the planter box gets mirrored. It's then a relatively easy job, taking snap off, to pick those planter boxes and then move, and right click and move, and we can come across to our design. We're asked for a base point, so we can set a base point and then come across and pop them into position. We can do some fine tuning at a later time, but because the grid and snap were on, it's located itself pretty well. I think what is slightly out, in fact, is our sight line, which we could move to make sure that we're sitting on the grid. You can see as I zoom in, it doesn't quite sit on the grid, and I'll show you how to move that in a moment. But we're working our way through our design. You can see we're designing this area through here. The planter boxes are now in. The circle representing the artwork plinth can go in shortly. So you might like to design those planter boxes. I'll put a box around these two and change colour back to by layer. Hit escape and we're done.